My name is Jason and welcome to my channel Pips-N-Chits. Today I have a Kickstarter unboxing of Ryan Lucat's and Red Raven Games' newest Sleeping Gods, along with its expansion, The Tides of Ruin. Now this game is for 2 to 4 players, but I know a lot of people are going to play this solo. There's nothing wrong with that. It is for ages 13 and up, and it's going to take quite a while. It is a campaign type style game. It says on the box 1 to 20 hours. I have a feeling that no one's going to be able to play it in 1 hour. However, the nice thing about it is it does have a save component, so you can start the game and pause it at will and pick up right where you left off in a future session. Now, because this is a very story-driven and very deep narrative game, as far as the unboxing goes, I'll show you a lot of the components, but I'm going to skip over some of the cards in there, more specifically the quest cards. There's a lot of things online. If you really need to know about those quest cards, I would suggest go looking at Board Game Geek or maybe some other content creators on there. But I want to play the game and be surprised, just like I hope most of you guys want to be too. So we'll just go over the basic components, the art book, some of the character cards and whatnot, and then we'll dive into the expansion. But as far as like getting really into the nitty gritty of stuff, I'm probably going to skip over that. So just let you know, you've been warned. Okay, here we go with Sleeping Gods. This right here is the core box, and it's pretty thick, as you can see. I'm going to go ahead and take the cellophane off just to remove a lot of that glare. And then we'll turn the box over and read the back. And maybe the first thing you notice right here, I don't know if it's going to show up very well on camera, but this gold lettering is slightly raised, and it actually has a metallic sheen to it. I think on the camera it might look yellow, but trust me in saying that this is a kind of a gold imprint on there. The box itself, we have a little bit of embossing. The claws here of this sea monster and the boat have a little bit of a raised impression on the box. Box is relatively heavy, and we're going to go ahead and turn it over and show you some of the stuff inside. It says, can you survive and find your way home? Explore a massive open world in a game atlas of connecting maps. Encounter deadly monsters, mysterious characters, lost ruins, and mystical treasures in a storybook filled with multiple choices and endings. Level up your crew members over a 20-hour campaign. It is fully cooperative. Flexible play lets players jump in and out with ease and stop and save the game at any time. Fight ferocious beasts in a combat system that rewards good planning. And finally, unlock secrets and discover hidden treasures in a world so large it will take you multiple campaigns to explore. Down here, again, 2 to 4 players, ages 13 and up, and 1 to 20 hours. So go ahead and lift the box up. And let's see, the first thing that we have here is a journal with a plastic spiral on it, and this looks like the game atlas map. So I'm just going to open up the first page here. You can see how vibrant the colors are. The map here will be connecting. You can see this points to page number 4, whereas this page points to page 13. This one goes to 17 and page 16 here. You're going to see individual numbers on here that I'm sure that you will discover through gameplay. That would probably be in the storybook there, but we're not going to go ahead and spoil that. So set that aside. We have our journey log. So we have a ship location. I'm assuming this is for saving possibly here. We have ship location, and across the top we have the ship health and boxes here that you can write in hull, deck, the infirmary, the galley, quarters, the bridge, the last ship action. We have ability cards in hand and command. We have a date and final score. and sections for 4 players to write in things. An experience area down here to put your experience points. Some other boxes down here: normal, brutal, how many defeats you've suffered, how many times you've gone through the event deck, and player. And on the back, we have a kind of a wandering map here. It looks like it's more or less the same for all these. So if you, this will give you kind of a good idea of how big the world is. But I wouldn't concentrate this on too much in case you want to be surprised. Next up, it looks like this is the actual storybook right here. Again, really nice spiral bound, kind of like the art style out here on the front. Yep, it's the storybook. It says written by Mallory and Ryan Lecotte and Brenna Asplund, if I'm pronouncing that right. Edited by Mallory and created by Ryan. Copyright 2020. And we have 172 pages. It looks like the last couple of pages are blank with a final finale on page 169. I'm just going to sift through this. No color, just a lot of text in there. Next up, we have our rule book. This is a pretty hefty rule book, as actually, if you can see down here, it's 40 pages. And we have an explanation on the back of a lot of the different iconography that you're going to see probably both on the cards and in the storybook itself. We have some colored pictures inside there, nice text, nice call outs it looks like right here, some examples. Yeah, we have some combat examples, example 1, example 2. A full combat round example. That's nice. I always like games that show pretty detailed examples there. We have more call outs on the different types of cards that we're going to come across, kind of explaining what's going to be happening there. A lot of nice pictures. It looks pretty clear and well organized. I hope that it is. And oh, I like this at the very beginning here, how to store your components. So it shows you how you pack everything back up into the box right there. And we have a component list. That's always nice. Moving on, we have an achievement card. Seems like it's a one-sided card. It's got that kind of a parchment feel to it. It's a little bit thicker than a regular piece of paper. It's like really thin cardstock, and it just has a totem list here of all the various totems and unlocked cards and I guess various endings. And if you're looking at this, it says there's a box for 13 endings, so maybe I'm to assume that there's 13 different endings for this campaign. Next up is we have a setup of a new campaign. We have a sheet here, double-sided. The text obviously is a little bit smaller. There looks like there's a lot of things going on in here. So we have set up a new campaign, playing the game. We have ship actions, events, 2 actions, how to spend command points, challenges, and combat. On the back side here, damage versus health, fatigue, status, quest cards, event decks, keywords, totems, defeat, and more on the campaign and the final score. Okay, Sleeping Gods. Here is the quick start guide. Begin here. So I imagine this is what everyone is going to start with first. It is 12 pages in length, and I think it's kind of more or less get you an introductory flavor of, yeah, this is introduction scenario, kind of get your feet a little wet. We have a little bit of a backstory, if you will, and how to set up and some some story elements and decisions that you're going to have to make before you get into the meat of the game. Next up, it looks like we have some bags here. Oh, well, I'll put this aside. It looks like we have a bag containing additional bags to store stuff. And we have this large bag here. Looks like we have some boards with tokens. And I'll just slide this out real quick. flip this over, and yeah, looks like we have some keys here, a lantern, these chits right here with various items on there that you could find. We have some lucky bones, some ambrosia, some dried herbs, sausage, a couple of duplicates in there, and these keys with W, X, Y, and Z, which probably have some special meaning within the game. Take this out of the bag here, and next up we have some additional maps. I don't want to spoil these, so I'll go through them really quick. We have the Crypt of Thorns, the Blood Ruins, and the Coral Temple. Some story markers on there. This probably has a lot to do with the dungeons. I believe that the dungeon part where it was a Kickstarter unlock here, and this is an additional story books that have to do with these maps. So again, we have about 33 pages worth of stories in there. I'm not going to deal or reveal much more than that. So with that dungeon bag here, we have some cards, some adventure cards, and I would say that these are specific towards those dungeons there. So I am not going to open these up. I'm sorry about that, but I imagine these are specifically used for the dungeon. We have a little bag here with a clear standee. I'm assuming that's for the boat. You can go ahead and put that on standee. We have another bag with even more bags inside, so definitely not lacking in bags. Okay, now down here it looks like we have 5 different boxes, and there's a little foam sheet in here, and I'll just start with this first box. Paper kind of has that simulated wood grain on it on all sides, and we'll go ahead and open it up. And it looks like we have tarot card size enemies here, I imagine. So you're going to see at least one enemy right here, the Pan Counselor, who appears to be level 6, and different iconography on there. You can look that up later, but I'm not going to go ahead and spoil that. Go ahead and set that aside. Next up, we have these boxes. Well, this box appears to be empty. It is. Probably the store something in there, but just an empty box right there. Next up, yet another box. It's got a picture. I don't know exactly what that is. It looks like maybe a creature that might be spitting something out in its mouth or out of its mouth. Not 100% sure. We'll open that up. Oh, and here it looks like we have a bunch of components. So in the bag here, we've got our metal coins, and boy, there's some good weight to these coins. So let me take a couple of them out and take a look at them. Boy, they have a really nice feel to them. Oh, okay, this is nice. So the gold coins here, these kind of hexagon shapes, if you will, or pentagon shapes, 5-sided. Really nice doubles, different iconography on either side of it. It looks like at least the middle symbol is, and it's got a really nice kind of like a wash or burnt aspect to it. But these are got a nice weight to them. So that's your gold ones, and they are a little bit larger than these copper ones. Let's go ahead and open that up. Basically the same kind of symbology that are on these coins, both sides again. Pretty decent weight. This one feels maybe a little bit heavier than an actual penny. Maybe almost feels like the weight of a nickel, if you will. Well, these ones are even heavier than a quarter. Okay, put that aside. We have a bag of our tokens here. We have some red wooden health tokens that are kind of in the shape of drops, if you will. I don't know, there looks like there's might be about 30, 35 of those in there. We have some four gray cubes, and we have a person I'm assuming represents the possible captain, another wooden meeple right there. Also in this bag, we have these blue hexagon, six-sided, so hexagonal wooden turquoise looking cubes. I believe these are command points or command tokens. And finally, we have a bag of about 12 red, smaller wooden cubes right there. And we have a real nice rendition of the ship. And I think this might have been a Kickstarter exclusive here. The ship was painted. I think, yeah, that's really nice. I think in the even though you have a standee and there's a possibility for a cardboard boat or ship, that in this Kickstarter version you have a painted vessel here. Let me see if I can get that up a little bit more. Yeah, that's pretty nice. That's the ship that you'll be on, or your adventuring will take place on. We have a couple decks of cards in here, different sizes. I don't want to open these up again for fear of spoiling anything, so I apologize for that, but we have two decks of like smaller cards in there, and we have a slightly larger deck of, I believe these are the starter and event cards right in there. That was all in this one, and I'm kind of curious why these boxes are so big, unless we're really packing things in later on. Let's move this. We have a box here that appears to be empty. Yeah, it's empty. It's called used quests. So I imagine once some of the quests that you do are solved, and they might be one and done, that you're just gonna stick them in there. I don't know that for a fact. I'm just assuming because it says used quests. And then now we have another box, our final box. The construction of this one is a little bit different, where these are just like kind of paper boxes. This one is more of a cardboard box, and it's got this really nice kind of oh, and it's got magnets built into it. Right here, I can see two magnets that kind of snap shut here. And we have a ton of cards in here with different, we have a couple different foam inserts in there, I guess, to keep them all nice and tidy. So we have, you know, all kinds of cards in there. So I'm not going to get into that. All right. And then finally here in this box is we have a few sheets of cardboard. And so we have our shipboard, if you will, with, I believe that these tokens here are various condition tokens. So if we were to flip this over, yep, you're going to see, I believe these are fatigue. So when your player gets tired, if you will, they will take away, their damage will be -1 damage in combat. You can see here this board is a two-sided board. This is for 1 to 2 players. And if you were to flip it over, we have a 3 and 4 player board. The boards look the same, other than I imagine the numbers are going to be slightly different here for your actions, depending if you are a 3 and 4 player versus a 1 and 2 player. Set that aside. And next up we have, even though the game came with those metal coins, you'll see here we have cardboard coins here as well. We have a couple of our characters where there's Captain Sofi Odessa, we have Audrey Williams, we have Gregory Little, we have some materials here. It looks like wood and carrots and grains and artifacts and meat of some sort. We have some conditions down here. We have weakened, venom, low morale, frightened, and madness. And more of the same, except the characters are different. So here we have Laurent Lapointe. We have Kanin Sharma. We have Kasumi Ashima from Osaka. And moving on, we have Rafael Vieira from New York. We have Mac Mara Johnson from Atlanta. We have Marco Reyes from Veracruz. And if it wasn't obvious here, it looks like they have different asymmetric powers too. So each of your characters are going to have their strengths and their weaknesses. So it's up to you in the course of playing the game of trying to figure out the best combinations of your crew. And finally here, it looks like our last sheet, again, we just have a lot more tokens. We have some damage markers or health markers that are now up to 5. We have our characters here. I believe that these are tokens are used for synergy. So when you know, 2 or more of your characters play in concert with each other there, especially during combat or some special missions, that they'll be able to help each other out and add bonuses. We have our port card. We have some triangles here that are A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and H. Totally unsure what those are. I'm assuming they're going to be things that are on the map, maybe waypoints or something you're going to discover along the way. We have a token here. Return this token to the supply to restore all crew health. There does appear to be 1 token missing here, and I'm not sure maybe if that fell out. Oh yeah, okay, it did. So we have a, looks like a diver right here that probably would have fit in right there. But I'll fit that back in, and that is the core box for Sleeping Gods. Now let's go ahead and move on to the expansion box. That's the Tides of Ruin. All right, here is Sleeping Gods Tides of Ruin expansion. This was available as part of the Kickstarter for an additional, I believe it was $30. Went ahead and obviously picked it up. So let's go ahead and take the cellophane off. And let's see what it says on the back here. Let me try to focus this a little bit better. Okay, Sleeping Gods Tides of Ruin expansion. Explore the far reaches of a dangerous archipelago as you search for a way home. Seamlessly expand the Sleeping Gods base game with new content that you can experience immediately, including a new adventure, enemy, quest, market, and event cards, over 190 in total. A 10-page atlas and accompanying storybook filled with new adventures, characters, and places to experience. A new way to play Sleeping Gods called Arcade Mode, a roguelike experience with unique challenges and tons of replayability. And of course, requires Sleeping Gods to play. Nothing changes down here at the bottom. 2 to 4 players, 13 and up, 1 to 20 hours. Box is a little bit thinner, but man, just have to say, I really dig the artwork on there. It's a very, very pretty game, that's for sure. My understanding too, this whole game takes place in about 1929, I think I was reading, so it kind of has that, you know, kind of that feel of what's the movie? You know, something in the Amazon, if you will, to it. Boy, there's a classic movie and it's escaping me right now. It doesn't matter, so I'll just move on. But inside the box, got some nice artwork in there. Moving on. Okay, we have a, let's see, what is this? Okay, here is our expansion atlas right here. It's about 10 pages. I'll just show real quick, just show you the vibrancy of the colors, but I'm not going to discover or reveal the map for you. Here is the storybook, very much done the same kind of artwork that was on the first one, but we have a really nice teal color. And inside here we are approximately, let's see, 59, we have 61, well, we have a bunch of text going up to page 63. So we have 63 pages worth of entries, various story entries in here. We have another bag, and we have a bunch of new cards in here. So obviously we have a deck of quest cards. I don't want to show you that deck because that's very spoiler heavy. But oh, here's arcade mode. So you have a deck of arcade mode cards right there, and unsure exactly what arcade mode is. I'm going to have to read the manual to figure that out, but pretty decent sized deck. We have some more cards here, and even though I said I wasn't going to spoil, I'll give you guys a chance right now. If you don't want to see anything, go ahead and skip a minute or so. I'll give you a chance, and I'll go ahead and put a timestamp up there to move on. But okay, if you stay stuck around, we have numbered cards 79 through 94, and we'll just take a really quick peek at a couple of these. Okay, we have a zombie scavenger, and wow, level 9. So I'm assuming that might be pretty tough with all the numbers down here. And let's pick another one. We have the Laughing Death. Kind of looks like a hyena right there. That's a level 8 card. And again, looks pretty powerful. Wouldn't want to meet this one early on in the game. And we have another level 9 character here, or enemy, a Shade of Valard. And again, level 9, and looks relatively tough. So these might be cards that you might want to get later on in the game. Don't know that for fact, but I'm assuming so. Okay, if you made it back to this point here, we have some cards here. I'm just going to go through one of these really quick. If you don't want to be spoiled or anything like that, go ahead and skip this section here. You can look at the timestamps and move on to the next one. I'm just going to show a couple of these. Right there we have a fishing pole equipment. I'm going to pick another one by random. And we have a singing necklace. It says passive. The player gains 2 command at the start of each combat. And there's a value down there. I just like the artwork. It's really nice. Okay, let's pick another one randomly here. Okay, we have some refugees. Looks like an overcrowded boat floats low in the water. As you sail near, the refugees throw grappling hooks onto your ship. You can help repair their craft or cast off the hooks and escape. So it looks like there's going to be some choices there that might be either beneficial to you or might be detrimental depending on the avenue you take. Anyway, I don't want to spoil any more for you, but that was the Tides of Ruin unboxing. Again, I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm sorry that if you want me to go through more cards, but this is a game I'm very excited to play myself, and it is a campaign game, and I just don't want to spoil stuff for you guys, or for me for that matter. So with that being said, my name is Jason, and my channel again, Pips-N-Chits. Go ahead and leave me a comment in the comment section below. I'm going to go ahead and box that up. And we'll see you again on the upside.